Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi.
Welcome back to not the WolfGator podcast, that's my podcast, to the Chip Roasting podcast.
Yes.
With the most Brennan of his last names. I don't know if he wants me to say that on here. And the most Wally of Levers.
Yes.
Actually, I'm not even the most Wally of Levers, as my dad has the same name.
My last name, I guess this is time for the big last name reveal. It's Grogu.
Yeah. Yeah, oh, there you go, folks.
Yes.
It's his last name. And also
Absolutely.
Mandalorian spoiler.
Yes. Yeah. So sorry if you haven't seen The Mandalorian and also have enough
doing?
context to know anything. What
are you doing if you're not watching Mandalorian?
Yeah.
Why are you even listening to this show? We talk about it. We talk about so much nerdy stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
especially
it's even
today.
named Chip Roasting after Mandalorian.
Exactly.
Yep.
It has nothing to do with the fact that we did it in 2015, before The Mandalorian was a thought, before Disney even had the rights.
No, actually, I think Disney was spying on us, chip roasting, and that's where they got the idea for The Mandalorian, just indirectly.
Sure.
There was probably more dominoes there. You know that meme where it's like a tiny domino and the giant one at the end? The tiny one is us chip roasting. The big one
They had a spy.
Mandalorian.
Matt, actually, it's the spy for Disney. If you didn't know that.
Yeah.
No,
well, not Matt, but Tam.
That's exactly. He's dead now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, but
we have
he
HBO
served
Max.
Disney well. Yeah.
Exactly. We have HBO Max on with our AT&T subscription, or the TV thing. And I was flipping through it, and Lego Ninjago is on there. And I was I just blurted out while my mom was sitting there, like, "Oh my God, that killed Tam!" And my mom's like, "What?"
Lego Ninjago. When we have Matt on as a guest for this podcast, if he ever comes on as a guest, we will go down that whole story of how.
I think I barely even know it. I wasn't even there.
Yeah, who was it? It was me, Colton, Tam,
and Tam.
Who was the fourth person? There were four people. Maybe it was Steven.
Was it Yegor? Might have been Steven.
I think Steven. Yeah.
We have to get him on the podcast sooner than later, because his job's going to amp up soon, and he will not be able to do this. So, him, and then whenever Colton gets off of second shift.
Yeah. Now for today, we have a very special guest we're going to have on the podcast. First name, Star. Last name, Christmas special. The middle name, stay tuned. First, we need to run through stuff about a certain Mandalorian. I'm not going to say which one, but
a particular Mandalorian, and perhaps as the title of the episode, not our episode, but the episode of Mandalorian suggested, the Jedi.
Oh yes, that one.
Yes, that particular Jedi. It was Ezra Bridger. No, I'm kidding. Did you watch any Rebels? Because I
have not yet.
Immediately after the last episode, not this one, but the last episode, I texted you, "Hey, you need to watch Rebels."
Yes.
And you're just like, "Huh, I get it now." And even more so. I was
like, "What?" And then I watched the episode of Mandalorian, and I was like, "Oh, now I understand."
Well, now
that was the one with all of the other Mandalorians.
Oh, so that was a couple episodes ago. Okay.
Yeah. That was episode 3. And then, so we talked about that last time briefly. Now we have episodes 4 and 5, I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was
4 I really liked. 4 was cool.
One. Oh, that's the one where they explored the base, right?
Yes, and it turned out to be a sciencey place where they did sciencey stuff.
That's what we call universities, sciencey places.
Yeah. Exactly.
I moved to call it that, actually.
Yes.
University. This is not University of North Carolina, Charlotte. This is the sciencey place at Charlotte.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Let me expose where I live real quick.
Yes.
Anyway.
Meanwhile, I am headquartered in Washington State, so don't try to find me. Of course,
no. This is why we can't do it in person. Also, exactly. The whole Mark the Hamdemic, as we discussed in episode 2 of this podcast.
Yes, Mark Hamdemic.
So the episode 4, I guess, chapter. I try not to keep. I try to keep up with the chapter names, but I can't. It's not.
Also, hold on briefly. Speaking of the Mark Hamdemic, indirectly. I have been editing something for a while. I'm still not quite done. It's a lot more complex than I'm used to.
You mentioned this in like episode 3.
Yeah.
Here we are in episode 6.
Yeah, it's because like when like I booted up the file this last time, I saw the date I created the file and I was like, it's been like a month and a half. But I'm almost done. So next Wednesday, by the time I'm releasing it, what's today? The 2nd. So the morning of the 9th, I'm going to have a new episode out on my YouTube channel, and then we are going to briefly talk about it.
Okay.
Next podcast episode. So all of my 2 fans who occasionally listen to this podcast,
including
get excited
myself
for that. Yeah, you and my other 1 fan.
Yep.
So yeah, it'll be cool. It's something I saw that I just had to react to, and you will understand why when you watch it. Because at first it's kind of like seems like it's normal, but then the end comes, and there's a huge twist.
How irrelevant is this thing that you're reacting to now that it's been over a month?
Still surprisingly relevant, but I need to like get it out before it stops being relevant. Yeah.
On the other hand, yes. No, I was gonna say on the other hand, I have made 3 episodes 3 pieces of content that weren't this show, podcast, and they flopped hardcore.
Oh,
I don't know what I expected. I mean, it was just me playing a game on my phone. It's how I got my channel started, actually. With a game called Flow, and I just given all these solutions.
Oh yeah,
I looked. There were 3. There were 3 that clearly you didn't watch them, but there were 3. There were 3 videos. None of them got any views. So I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'm done.
Oh, nice.
I have an idea for a video. So
you went back to your roots, and it failed so epically, so spectacularly.
Mm-hmm. So I do have a video I have in mind. Whether it gets made or not, it's still up in the air.
Because like I'm subscribed to your channel and I didn't receive any kind of notifications that you had like posted or whatever.
Might be the issue. Because I know usually at least one person watches my videos.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
So yeah, actually now we can move on to the Mandalorian.
Yes, the Mandalorian.
We'll call this Wandalorian Wednesdays because we don't do this on Mondays, so we can't do it called Mando Mondays. But
interesting.
Or whatever day we end up doing this.
Does any character's name start with a W? Is there like any character in the Mandalorian?
Not that I know of. I don't even think there's anyone in Star Wars.
Windu.
Windu Wednesday.
Mace Windu.
We could do Windu Wednesday.
So when Mace Windu ends up being the Jedi to train Grogu after they put him atop the temple, he comes out of nowhere. He's like, "Yeah, I survived that in episode 3."
You know what's funny? People actually think that's gonna happen.
Yes, it must happen now.
So, it was said on this podcast, so it's gotta happen. You know how it goes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
So, episode 4, which I believe is the last one.
Yes.
Din Djarin, also known as the Mandalorian or Mando, goes back to the planet he started pretty much everything on, I think.
Yeah.
And he goes back and thriving. The place he left is thriving.
Surprisingly
after the Empire left. Yeah. After they kicked the Empire out.
Empire's gone. It's just the good guys now, I guess we can say. They seem pretty chill.
Yeah, and that planet's been mostly freed of the Empire, except there's one base that I think they had to go make sure it was empty or something.
Yeah. So, he thought it was like a training thing or like a military base, and they were like, this is like kind of like their last big stronghold. They had some kind of like it was like a power plant where they were doing building like weapons of some sort. I think I don't know. That was like a week and a half ago. Am I supposed to remember that for this podcast?
Yeah, I know, right?
I don't think so.
But it's something like that. It was like it wasn't supposed to be like super active. It's basically
there's supposed to be like a couple stormtroopers there, and they just had to blow it up and it'd be fine. There were a lot of stormtroopers there. There were like at least 6. There was green T-shirt guy who got removed from it after it had. I don't know if you saw all that, but there was like no one knows if it was accidental or on purpose. There was like a conspiracy that was on purpose to like do whatever, but there was like a dude. It was like one of like the tech guys, and like we're just wearing a green T-shirt on like the back of one of the shots. Quick,
nice.
Everyone was like, "Hey, we we see that, and then they like removed him, so you can't even go back and watch it now because they like edited it out and they re-uploaded it on Disney Plus.
Yeah, and then there's they brought back the guy from the very first episode who Din Djarin had to arrest or got his bounty for. Why, I don't know. He was not an intriguing character whatsoever. Actually, quite annoying, in my opinion.
I did like him. I kind of thought it was a little odd that they had like a bigger role, but what I kind of guessed would happen is maybe it was like the first episode of the series. He like was like a cameo. He was like either just like a dude who they didn't know. They just wanted to kind of like fill this role, or he knew someone involved in the production. They kind of got him the role like that. Well, but I guess they just liked him so much.
What is his name? It's not Bobby Moynihan. It's someone from SNL. It's a former SNL guy.
Oh, it is? Cool.
Yeah, I don't remember who it is, though.
Cool. John Mulaney.
Horatio Sands. That's who it is. Yeah,
I was
from like... but yeah, so, he was back. So basically what happened was they went in, they were badasses, they shot everyone. They found, as Brennan mentioned earlier, found a science-y thing called a lab.
This I liked a lot because it actually tied in episode 9 a bit, which episode 9 is so far out there and I hate it so much. I
rewatched it the other day.
Oh yeah. What do you think upon another viewing? Do you like it or
so
not like it?
As someone who didn't grow up watching Star Wars, I have no biases towards the other ones. But as someone who watched all the new ones, like that was kind of like their first like introduction to Star Wars. I liked episode 9. I can understand why people don't. Because there are lots of plot holes, and I'd say this goes for the entire trilogy. My favorite Star Wars movie, like period, is the Star Wars Christmas special. No, it's The Last Jedi. And again, it's just I have no biases towards the other one. I also just thought it was a really good movie. I like the throne room scene. That was cool. Apparently, a lot of people like to pick apart that like this guy fell before he was hit or whatnot.
Which I don't understand.
Who cares? And, they tried their best. They were wearing. They couldn't see. Could you see through that armor? Exactly.
I could not see through that armor. If I was in that armor and trying to see out.
There you go. And that's why you fell.
Yep.
Mark Hamill was playing that.
Exactly. Mark Hamill is always everyone.
Yeah. So that tied it into just I saw a lot of people, or the sequel trilogy. I saw like a lot of people saying it was Snoke in the chamber because Snoke is a clone.
Yeah. Like the actual Snoke. That's
you didn't know that? Yeah, Snoke's a clone.
Well, like I was aware that like Snoke was like one of the failed clones of Palpatine, which I hated. I was like, oh come on, that's such a dumb twist. Like just have Snoke be his own dude.
Yeah, I liked Snoke. He was cool. He was a cool bad guy.
Like it is kind of cool to think because it was one of like the failed clones of Palpatine, which what they're trying to do in the Mandalorian. Spoiler, probably I don't know if we said spoiler yet.
We did. It was very early. It was like the second word out of my mouth.
Yeah, it's way out the window now. But they were using baby Yoda or baby adult Grogu, as I now refer to Yoda as adult Grogu instead. But they were using genes or midichlorians or whatever to clone Palpatine. But it is interesting to think that like we saw Snoke there, because I always assume these are all failed and they make Snoke like later on or whatever. But maybe this is just Snoke. Maybe, but it's so weird to think about because this technically makes Snoke essentially the child of Palpatine and Grogu.
Oh my God, Brennan, why did you do this? Why? Why did this happen?
Because I was thinking about that, I was like, wait a minute. And then like the Palpatine we see in episode 9, that's like Grogu's child.
Hold on, wait. So wait a second. Is Rey Grogu's half daughter?
Oh wait, I didn't even put it.
Their daughter or whatever, because Rey's dad is also a failed clone. Remember?
Oh wait.
Because because he has no midichlorians.
Wait. Oh,
Would she? I don't know.
is he?
Is she a Grogu?
Even wait a minute. Rey is at least
part Grogu.
Wow. Oh my goodness. This is forget the Skywalker saga. This is the Grogu
The
saga.
Grogu saga. Yes, no, exactly. No, this is
so
what the Mandalorian
trippy.
is setting up.
Yeah,
The Mandalorian is setting up the
absolutely.
first half, the end of the Skywalker saga,
Oh my
aka the
goodness.
beginning of the Grogu saga.
Yes. Episodes 10 through 18 are all going to be the Grogu saga.
We figured you out, Jon Favreau, in Star Wars.
Yeah.
We're on to you.
It is kind of neat that like they made it canon that, you know, Master Yoda was aware of Grogu.
We're not on that episode yet. Wait.
Okay. I'll win on that one.
So actually, you know what? That's the end of that episode. They basically just chased with flying stormtroopers, which was cool.
Yeah,
and
that was
the
a cool
TIE
scene.
Fighters, also cool. I thought the action
scene.
sequences were on par with the ones with the other Mandalorians, like Bo-Katan and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
I think those two episodes were like the best in terms of like non-Jedi fighting scenes.
I also very much like the scene in the school where they left
Grogu.
Yeah. Baby adult Grogu. And he
that macaron.
Yes, he was stealing the candy or snacks or crackers or whatever. That dude just with the Force. That was a cool scene.
And then when he threw up.
I like that scene. Yeah.
I don't know why. It was just like, oh, that's funny.
It's like, oh, Grogu, and he
takes his cape.
Yeah, and then Mando got to be like, you know, like the dad there, and be like, oh, you know, cleaning up the mess. So that was cool. That was enjoyable.
So next episode 5,
The Jedi, which I'm pretty sure Jedi was intended to be singular, referring to
Grogu.
Ahsoka.
She's not a Jedi, which I'm kind of surprised she didn't say.
But
I'm no Jedi.
Yeah, I still do think that it was referring to her, though.
No, yeah, of course.
But there have been so many people online I've seen like, oh, it didn't mean Jedi singular, it meant Jedi plural, and it's referring to like all of the other Jedi we don't get to see, and it's like, but they're not in the episode. The episode is the episode title is the Jedi. It's the one episode.
Speaking of Ahsoka, did you? And
yes.
You know, again, because I just watched episode 9.
Sure.
You remember at the end where like before Rey defeats Palpatine, and like you hear all those Jedi voices. Did you know Ahsoka was one of those voices? I heard there was like a long list of voices, and like I kind of looked over it at one point. I didn't know specifically, but if Ahsoka was one of those voices, that's cool. And so is Kanan Jarrus from Rebels. The real question is, was Plo Koon's voice in there? I don't believe his was. Dang. Plo Koon was my favorite as a child. I also like Qui-Gon Jinn a whole lot, but he's more mainstream. He's still my favorite. But have you read Master and Apprentice? Plo Koon, it's like no one's favorite Jedi is Plo Koon, so he's my favorite. But I have not read that book, I don't think. Okay. It's like I've read some Star Wars books, but I don't know. I don't remember which ones. That one doesn't sound familiar. So you've probably read Legends. No. If you haven't read anything in the last 5 years, it's probably with Legends. Like stuff that's no longer canon. Or not that it was, but yeah, it was definitely stuff that wasn't officially canon. I actually read a couple series. I read this one series from like it was from like a while ago. Because like it took place after episode 6, back when like everyone was like, we don't know what's going to happen, so we're just going to make things up. And it was about Han and Leia's 2 children. And one of them was actually named Ben Solo, I'm pretty sure. No, it was Ben Skywalker. That was Ben Skywalker. Luke's. Yeah. Luke's son. Yeah. Okay, so we are talking about this. So we both know what series I'm talking about. Actually, I don't know. I know one of them's name is Jason Solo. I think one of them is Jason Solo. He's the one who turns to the dark side.
Yeah, so I was
That's
kind
all
of
I know about it.
surprised because those were the only books that like took place after episode 6 that I read or remembered or whatever. So I was kind of like, hey, I'm seeing parallels because here's a son and he's turning evil and
Right,
all that stuff. So it was cool. It was cool.
Well, Master and Apprentice basically, it's I think it takes place before the Phantom Menace, and it's about Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan, like on a mission. I think, I don't know. I'm hopefully getting it for Christmas.
Maybe I did read that book. That sounds kind of familiar. I like Qui-Gon Jinn. He's pretty cool. He should have been used more, but he died. So
he did. Same with Maul, but they brought Maul back. So
spoiler alert for episode 1 of Star Wars. But episode 5 of season 2.
Spoiler alert for the entire Star Wars. The good guys win.
Yes.
The Jedi.
Except for it's like,
for the most part, technically.
It's kind of weird because if you think about episode 9, Palpatine kind of won because he was able to wipe out the entire Skywalker line.
That's true. Because Ben didn't die because of him. Ben died because he didn't want Rey to die because plot armor.
Indirectly died because of him. Yeah. So Palpatine got what he wanted. The Palpatine line is the only line left. He managed to kind of kill the whole Skywalker line. So kind of a confusing movie. I don't like the life lessons that 9 left off with, but oh well. It was still a watch. It's Star Wars, so it's good.
Exactly.
But episode 5 of season 2 of The Mandalorian, I really liked how it started off because I did not know when we would get to see Ahsoka, because I kind of thought they were building up to it a lot. So I was like, it'll be, that long, slow, like several episodes, whatever. So this episode started off and it was immediately just Ahsoka tearing through some guys. I was like, oh my goodness, they did it.
I thought what was going to happen was, like when he arrived at the planet, I thought that was going to be the beginning of the episode.
Yeah.
Not Ahsoka just annihilating these guys with hoods on.
Really cool because we haven't really seen this whole series like a lightsaber in action. We saw like the dark saber glimpse of the dark saber or whatever. That's clever because they're only called lightsabers, but it's like dark and not light. That's cool. That just collected.
Do you know the lore behind the dark saber?
Yes.
Okay.
Cool. I actually think you explained it in one of the previous episodes.
Probably. I don't know. We've talked a lot about different things, mostly Marvel and Star Wars. So probably.
But it's so that just clicked. But it's cool. So we got to see Ahsoka, and I think she was played by
Rosario Dawson.
Yeah,
not Dolphin.
Was that the person from the Marvel Netflix series?
Yep, she was Claire Temple, the night nurse.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I really liked Claire Temple in the Marvel Netflix stuff, so I was really
fantastic.
Glad. And she did a fantastic job portraying Ahsoka
as well. She's exactly what I pictured Ahsoka to be after living through 2 wars.
Oh yeah,
especially being hunted down before and during the second one by the Empire. She was stoic. She had a lot of Ahsoka-isms, if that's the word I'm going to make up for this.
Yeah, like I had only seen her really in like the Clone Wars, which obviously took place like a long time before the Mandalorian, and she was still like the exact same. Like there was not anything where I was like, oh, this seems like a totally different person. I was like, this is like Ahsoka still. Obviously, she had been through a whole lot more, but like it was still very much her. Which, At
the very least, I've watched this episode twice already because I watched it the second time for a couple of reasons. One, there had to be something I missed, and I did catch a couple of things. And two, Ahsoka's such a great character, and that I just needed to watch it again.
Oh yeah.
And because Rosario Dawson definitely did a great job with that, but and I like how they alluded to the fact that she knew what happened to Anakin, and which is why she couldn't train Grogu.
Absolutely. That was a really cool nod where like she was like, "Oh nope, Grogu's attached to you. I cannot train him." And the Mandalorian like was like, "Why not?" And Ahsoka was like, "Oh, trust me,
She's like, I've seen this
attachment
before.
is bad." Even though like it's one of the things where it's like what really caused Anakin to go to like, the dark side. Was it like just the fact that he was attachment, or was it the fact that the Jedi just like sucked as like being like, oh, instead of teaching you how to kind of whatever controls, we're just going to say don't do it at all, and if you do it, then you suck. But it was just a really cool episode. And now this is what I was saying earlier, where Grogu was in the Jedi Temple the same time as adult Grogu.
Yes. And it's for anyone who's normal and not like Brennan. His name is Yoda. Adult Grogu would be Yoda.
Yes.
Yeah. No. It's
adult,
crazy.
Baby, adult.
I like that meme you sent me with the community meme.
Oh yeah.
That was so funny.
Yeah. The one where it's like if for fans of Community, which I'm hoping is everybody listens to this after episode 4 or whatever that we did.
One person, by the way, one person listened to that episode.
Hey, cool. I hope they're a Community fan, or at least I hope they are a Community fan now.
Exactly.
if they weren't before. But in Remedial Chaos Theory, with all different timelines, the timeline where Troy gets the pizza and he walks back in and the apartment is on fire. And that it's a very common meme template, but it had Grogu as Troy, and then the whole scene being like Anakin just killing all of his classmates.
I wonder how they're gonna explain that.
Yeah, I'm hoping that like they kind of dive into it more. That eventually we kind of get a look back, but
that'd be interesting.
It's super cool because that's like the third one of the species, which I believe we talked about
a couple episodes
maybe
ago.
We haven't talked about that.
I think we might have mentioned it a couple episodes ago.
Yeah,
because there's Yoda, there's Yaddle, and then there's Grogu.
Yaddle. Yep. So
I saw a theory that was like Yoda, that Grogu is the child, the love child of Yaddle and Yoda. And then someone was like, okay, maybe, because Yoda was, or not Yoda. Yeah. Grogu was 22, believe it or not. Same age as Anakin. When the Jedi, the Great Jedi Purge happened. Which is, when Anakin went in and killed all the younglings. It's weird that they're the same age, or they were the same age.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. I thought that too.
You keep talking, and I have an idea that maybe it's what you thought of already before, but yes.
For anyone who's listening, first off, if you're listening, you should switch over probably in the next 20 minutes as we watch the thing that starts with Star and ends with Christmas Special.
Yeah.
Whose middle name is yet to be determined.
Yep. It might be
because it'll be terrible. It'll be because it would be a terrible audio medium as we sit here and watch this movie and react in real time.
Yeah, hurry up and switch to YouTube before we stop doing this on YouTube, because YouTube has decided to change their how they do ads now, and it might kill everything. But who knows?
Anyway, we'll worry about that later.
Yeah, we'll cross that bridge when it's on fire. But anyway, what I was going to say is, so we know how Anakin is in. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Anakin had a mom, but did not have a dad, because the Force kind of was his dad, and the Force that was his dad was being controlled by Palpatine. Right?
Yes, I believe this was confirmed in one of the newer Vader comics.
What if Baby Yoda's dad was also the Force controlled by Palpatine?
It's funny you say that, because the next thing I was going to say is a lot of people on the internet were like, well, what if, since they were born at the same time, what if Grogu is the chosen one and not Anakin?
Oh, that would be even more trippy.
I know.
I was going kind of along those lines, but in a different direction, because I was going to say, if Palpatine is Grogu's dad And then Grogu is also Palpatine's dad.
My own grandpa.
That's just the most confusing family tree. Because then Rey is if Rey's dad is a failed Palpatine clone, which I didn't recall, but I guess that kind of fits with how chaotic episode 9 was. But then Rey's dad is Palpatine, and Rey's granddad is Palpatine, and then Rey's great granddad is Grogu, and then Rey's great granddad is Palpatine, and then Palpatine.
No, Palpatine
Grogu.
is the grandfather.
Wait,
and
hold
so
on.
that means if he created Grogu.
Oh wait, yeah. Then there's another. Okay,
so
I'm confusing myself now.
Yes, you are. So Grogu would be Rey's uncle.
Uncle, but
and
like
so
wait,
is
not
Luke,
directly an
Anakin.
uncle, right? Wait, or is it direct? No, it would be directly an uncle, and also directly her. Okay.
That means Anakin's her uncle, which means she's a Skywalker.
Wait, does that mean
so? That means Luke's.
Darth
that means
Vader
Anakin's
and
Palpatine.
Grogu are brothers.
Yes.
Interesting, but only if
we've gone too far.
We need to figure out who Grogu's dad is. Who is the father?
All right. Well, looks like we're gonna have to go to Maury's show.
Yeah. Palpatine, you are not the father.
But why? Hold on. But would it not? Anyway, that's a disaster. No one take our word on that.
No. Unless
you want to run with it and help us.
Unless it turns out we're right, in which case we were so confident we called it the whole time. We definitely know what we're talking about. I 100%. am absolutely not having a hard time tracing back what I've even said so far.
If you have, there's a rewind button, so hit that.
Yes, absolutely.
We are lost, and this is real time, so we obviously can't do that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so in the episode, there was a name drop. A name drop that you probably just, as someone who's never watched Rebels, was like, who? And that was when Ahsoka was fighting that, I don't remember her name.
Oh, and it was like, who is your boss?
Where is your master?
Where is your master?
Where is Grand Admiral Thrawn?
Yes, I heard that. And I was like, oh, a name. And I was like, do I know that name? And I was like, no. Thrawn sounds familiar. Thrawn does sound familiar, but I couldn't place it. The list. Oh, of his appearances?
Of his appearances in Rebels.
Yes. For those of you who were not in mine and Wally's private Snapchat conversations, he sent me a list of Star Wars Rebels episodes. And I was like, what are these? Like, who's in these? And he was like, I'm not telling you until you watch the episode. And I was like, cool.
Yep. And so that's Thrawn. That's Grand Admiral Thrawn. So Thrawn, if anyone is wondering, in case, I mean, if you're listening to a Star Wars podcast, which is a nerdy podcast is what this is.
Yes, a chip roasting
Marvel
podcast.
and Star Wars.
And community.
If you're listening to this, you probably know who Thrawn is. If not, which is fine. Thrawn.
I don't.
There you go. So Grand Admiral Thrawn is his first appearance was made in 1991 or 1990s novel Heir to the Throne. Heir to the Empire, which means it takes place after Episode 6 when Palpatine and Vader die, and he takes over the Empire.
Was that the
obviously
one
this is not canon?
With like the giant whale or whatever, where they went to the.
I don't know. I've never read it.
Oh. Okay.
Oh no, that's in Rebels.
No. There was also
was
there was a book that was published where
maybe
they were trying to figure out who would be the next like head of the Empire, and they went to like this world with like giant whales.
Oh no, that's not it then.
No.
He's from Thrawn is part of the the Chiss Ascendancy, which is a planet outside. It's in like the unknown region.
Interesting.
So anyway, made his first appearance in the Heir to the Empire, and then he made 2 more appearances in books I don't remember, and that's called the Thrawn trilogy. Apparently, it's like some of the best books in Legends.
Okay.
But obviously Disney, when they bought Lucasfilms, they're just like, yeah, that stuff doesn't make any sense. So
Thrawn is dead.
Throw it out. And so they actually hired
back, I guess. Yeah.
Yes, they actually hired the guy who wrote the original trilogy, and I think there's 3 other books, to write a new Thrawn trilogy, which is called Thrawn. It's Thrawn Alliances and Thrawn something. But instead of coming after the Empire and being the heir to the Empire, he tells the story of his rise to power in the Empire during the Empire's age. I'm actually reading the first prequel book to that series because he's come out with a prequel trilogy, as you do in Star Wars. You write an original trilogy, then the prequel trilogy,
then the sequel trilogy, and then a hit TV show falling between the original and the sequel.
There you go.
Absolutely.
But his first TV appearance was in Star Wars Rebels, where he was basically the main antagonist for seasons 3 and 4.
Cool.
He's a fantastic villain.
All right.
So if anyone ever gets a chance to read any of the Thrawn books, I would recommend it. But definitely watch Rebels, because Thrawn is fantastic.
Cool.
He's my favorite. He's my favorite villain. My favorite non-Force using villain. He's awesome. But anyway, I digress. So last we saw him, Brennan, I guess cover your ears for spoilers. Or take your headphones out.
I have headphones in, so this won't do any good. But
I mean, it doesn't matter. Basically, what last we saw Thrawn was him and Ezra, who was in Rebels. They disappeared on the They have these.
Isn't Ezra the main character?
Yeah. So there are these hyperspace whales that Ezra can talk to through his force. And
are these the same whales in the book that I just described that you have never heard of before? Interesting.
No, he wasn't from that world. I'd heard of those whales before.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So you have, but are they the same whales in the book you haven't heard of? Or
probably.
Read? Interesting.
I don't know. I'm assuming so. They brought a lot of legend stuff in Rebels.
Interesting.
So they attached themselves to Thrawn's. I think it's a dreadnought.
The whales did?
Yeah, and him, Ezra, and the whales disappeared into hyperspace, and that was the last time we saw Thrawn and Ezra. Which is probably why Ahsoka wanted to know where Ezra was, because after Episode 6, Ahsoka and one of the other main characters in Rebels, Sabine, who's a Mandalorian, they went to go look for Ezra and Thrawn.
So, how many episodes have there been since Ezra disappeared?
Oh, that was the very last episode.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he yeeted himself after the last episode.
In the last
episode.
Is the series over? Or is it still...
I think it finished in 2018, because it started in 2014.
Oh.
It's got 4 seasons.
So Ezra is just...
gone. No one knows where he is. Just like Thrawn, which is, like I said, why Ahsoka asked where Thrawn was, because she's probably still looking for Ezra.
Interesting. Okay.
I think this is where the Mandalorian is going to lose a lot of people who just aren't as invested in Star Wars as the mega fans.
This actually makes me want to watch Rebels a lot more now, knowing that it kind of has that element of mystery and intrigue.
Apparently, a lot of people think this episode
it's only 4 seasons and there's not going to be any more that I have to keep up with.
Right. Apparently, a lot of people think that that episode set up a sequel series to Rebels.
Oh.
I honestly don't know. I don't know if that's in the works. If it is, I'm excited for it. I really liked it.
Interesting.
But
Star Wars Resistance, maybe.
That show's over. That also was...
Oh, wait. Was there actually a show called Star Wars Resistance?
Yes, that's exactly what it was called.
Cool. I am psychic.
It was okay. It did add anything to the story, but I enjoyed it.
Here's some Star Wars news. Star Wars Detours. Have you heard of that show?
Star Wars
Detours. It was a show that was supposed to come out in 2010. It was these short episodes, 6 minutes long each.
Mm-hmm.
They made 2 seasons of them.
Mm-hmm.
They made like 39 episodes, 2 seasons worth.
Okay.
Like completely finished them, ready to release, and then Star Wars was like no, or
COVID
Disney was
happened.
like no. This is 2010.
No, I know, I'm kidding.
Okay, yeah. They were like, it's gonna wait 9 years, and then we'll release it. Oh no, there's a pandemic. I mean, a hamdemic.
Nah, it's too bad. I've already said that.
Yeah.
The COVID word.
But so they were just scrapped, and they were never released.
And now they're being released?
Last week, one of them got leaked. Someone leaked an episode in its entirety, or leaked an episode. Some people think it's like a marketing ploy to drum up interest, and they're gonna like dump the entire series on Disney Plus. But it was reported as like a leak. Some dude
Interesting.
Just put a completed video out there. It's like these like 2 like flies, basically not like flies, but they're like aliens who look like flies, who are like bounty hunters or whatever, but they're like horrible at it.
Okay.
And they go and try to like
I'm intrigued.
Yeah. They go and try to rob a diner, and it's the diner from the prequel trilogy.
Yeah, that Obi-Wan went into.
Yeah. The guy with like the 4 arms.
Yeah.
Dexter?
Something like that. I don't know.
Anyway, he's there. It has the classic, the infamous Jar Jar Binks.
Darth Jar Jar.
Yeah. It very much is like a kids animated thing, but it's still like hilarious, and it still makes use of a lot of like Star Wars things. So it's a pretty.
I'm intrigued.
There've been a lot of people who have been trying to like who've had a huge interest in this ever since 2010.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing's ever come of it until just last week. So that's kind of some
nice
Star Wars news that a lot of the Star Wars community, if there's anyone in that, if there's any like active Star Wars community people in here listening, like, I'm sure you were excited about it. So I wanted to.
Nice. No, I didn't heard about that. That's awesome. Yeah. Did you know that they're coming out with the Bad Batch show? Remember the Bad Batch from the season 7?
Oh yeah, I didn't like them all that
no?
much.
Wow.
No.
I enjoyed them.
Yeah.
I mean, but I enjoyed their
cool.
minor cameo, just kind of there. I think that was like a fan service kind of thing. I'll see how an entire series goes, but
yeah.
Any Star Wars content is fun for me.
I liked like 2 of the people in like the Bad Batch. Like I was like, okay, these are cool dudes, and there were like 4 of them, right? So I guess
4 or 5, yeah, something like that.
The other ones, I was like, meh, but.
Still, by the way, not Star Wars related.
Not Star Wars related. Interesting.
We have 1 month and 13 days until WandaVision.
We do have 1 month and 13 days.
Very excited.
14 days, right?
That was the 15th, 16th, whatever.
Okay.
We have like a month and like six weeks, essentially. So nice. I'm excited for that.
I am very excited too. I'm trying to avoid spoilers. I keep seeing things posted online. I'm like, no.
Me too, man. Me too. It's bad.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm okay with like people like hyping it up, like, yes, hype it up. Don't tell me the exact plot. I don't want to know the exact plot.
Well, here's the exact plot. No, I'm kidding. No, and apparently they're considering, especially with Wonder Woman, which, by the way, is going to be on HBO Max on Christmas Day.
Yes, it is. I am probably going to be using your HBO Max to watch it. So
sounds good.
Cool.
But
cool.
Because of that, apparently, sources say, I don't know who these sources are, but sources say it's Mark Hamill. That's the source.
Mark Hamill, yeah.
That
I spoke
Black
to him
Widow
just an hour ago. Yeah,
exactly. That Black Widow might be hitting Disney Plus. In the premium access type thing.
Yeah, I saw posted somewhere that it's like rumored right now that Black Widow is still going to release in theaters next May, but 3 weeks before its theatrical release, they're going to put it up on Disney Plus.
That's essentially what I saw.
I also saw some more things about Disney Plus, like it's like rumored that they're going to start like a Disney 18 Plus, where it's like all of the adult content.
I think we watched the same video.
Properties. I didn't watch a video. I actually just saw like a post about it.
Okay,
but the post was probably just based on like the video. Probably. It was based on the post.
Because I send you that one channel, the Cosmic Wonder. He did a video about this. So okay. That'd be cool because first off, Deadpool. I love Deadpool and Deadpool 2. And then I've never seen Logan.
I saw they're making like a Deadpool 3.
They are. They've hired. Yeah, they hired new writers. The writers from Bob's Burgers.
Oh, interesting. But, I I think I saw somewhere that Deadpool 3 is supposed to have like a PG-13 rating though.
No, I saw rated R. I saw they were keeping it rated R.
It is interesting. I still need to watch like the first 2 Deadpool movies. I still haven't.
They're on Hulu.
Yeah. I saw, and like, and I actually like, think I like have like an actual physical copy of the movie somewhere too. I just haven't watched it yet. So
they're funny. They're good. The second one, in my opinion, is better somehow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So,
interesting. We will see if Deadpool actually becomes a part of the MCU now through like the multiverse. Or
I hope they just like get like a
somehow.
quick cameo of him landing in the MCU, and then like he just leaves and walks off.
Yes,
I
would love just in the background of one shot, just like in a frame like 20 pixels large or something. It's just like a Doctor Strange portal opens up, and he just pops out, and he just like runs off somewhere. It's like, oh, he's in the MCU now. Yeah. Done. Problem solved.
Anyways, I think it's time.
I do think it's time.
I think it's time. All
it's time.
Non-YouTube listeners. I think there were 3 of you on the last episode. Not on Spotify, but on the tracker, whatever it's called, Sounder. I think you guys should switch over to YouTube. It's WolfGator Entertainment on YouTube.
Yes, the one, the only WolfGator Entertainment.
Exactly, literally the only one.
I am not Brennan, so also switch over to my page, but not yet because there's nothing going on right there right now. Unless it's my video.
Unless you're listening to this on the 9th, then there is.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you are, you're late. Where were you?
We needed you a week ago.
Exactly.
But yeah, unless you just don't want to actually have to see the Star something Christmas special,
which is completely understandable.
Yeah, it's almost like the Ark of the Covenant in Indiana Jones, where like as soon as you gaze upon it, just all the flesh melts off your face and your skeleton like turns to dust.
But we're gonna watch it. It's gonna be crazy.
Yes.
Probably gonna be very bad.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna see how much we can get through, and I think that's pretty much the goal. And then after, we'll discuss it during, and we'll discuss it after. But I'm scared.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
I don't think I've actually seen any part of this since I showed it to you all these years ago.
Post chip roasting, of course.
Yeah. Post chip roasting. So like 20.
So we ready?
I guess. Yes, I am very prepared, very excited.
I'm scared.
Okay.
All right.
An hour and 37 minutes. Oh, by the way, this is the Star Wars. Wars was the.
Well, I'm going to turn this down a little bit. Okay. Can you hear it?
Perfect. I cannot right now. No.
You can't hear it?
No, I can't.
Well, that's unfortunate. Hold on.
I don't know why.
We're going to have to. Let's see.
Oh, it's the Star Wars Holiday Special. I always call it the Star Wars Christmas Special, but I guess
the Star Wars Holiday
makes more
Special.
sense because it's the holiday is Life Day that it's referring to. But if it said the Star Wars Life Day Special, no one would know
exactly
what it was talking about. So,
all right,
Star Wars Holiday Special, the. Cool.
Can you hear that at all?
I still don't have sound, but I absolutely love these visuals. I love how Chewbacca looks during this whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
This was made so quickly after episode 4 that it's nowhere close to the same budget.
Right.
Like the costumes and visuals are like, they're almost there, but they're just off enough.
Now can you hear it? Or do you hear yourself?
Do I hear myself? No.
Okay.
I do hear this now, though.
All right, cool. All right, we're ready to go. Ladies and gentlemen, Star Wars Christmas in live.
That's it, I'm turning back. I know your family's waiting. I know it's an important day.
Camera.
Oh, also, if you can bump it down a little bit, so it's a bit hard to hear you over.
I can do that.
How's that? All right, cool.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Our only hope now is to outrun that Imperial garbage scow, though. I'm going to lights.
At least this part feels like Star Wars.
Yes. Although I just love that, like, the dialogue feels so unnatural compared to. I know the dialogue in like the Star Wars films was never the best, but just especially here, it feels so clunky.
Damn ads.
Ad blocker? Man.
I know. Well, that's the only ad it seems for the entire movie. So
this podcast is sponsored by Grammarly.
The Star Wars Holiday Special.
I'm gonna have that just be like my ringtone. Just this whole intro.
There's an interview that he did like recently, like on Jimmy Fallon. He denied ever being in this. I mean,
I do not blame him. Yes.
Peter Mayhew as Chewbacca.
Oh my goodness.
R2-D2 as R2-D2.
Oh god.
I cannot believe that like they got R2-D2 to reprise his role as R2-D2 here.
We didn't even get far enough in last time to know that Vader was in this movie.
Introducing Chewbacca's family.
Oh god.
The first and last appearance of Chewbacca's family.
His father, Itchy.
Oh my goodness.
His son, Lumpy.
I can't believe they gave Chewbacca like
Star.
an entire family.
His Arthur.
Can you imagine agreeing to this?
Art Carney.
Like, as like a respected actor, can you imagine agreeing to this movie?
Diane
Because I
Carroll.
know that Star Wars was huge upon its like release, and I just want to know what happened if they were just kind of contacted and been like, "Hey, would you like to appear in like a Star Wars movie?" And they were like, "Oh,
Is
we
this
had
one?
huge success," and they're like, "Yeah, absolutely," and then it turns out to be this.
Star Wars story on the Star Wars Holiday Special.
That right there was, I think, the only good thing to come out of the Star Wars Holiday Special was it's what introduced the character of Boba Fett.
Sponsored by General Motors.
Give me 1 second, I gotta take my headphones off so I can
Okay.
put that back on.
For sure.
People.
The hat must go on for the movie.
This podcast is also sponsored by General Motors. So I love it just starts off animated here. Like it was live action, then for no apparent reason other than to just be able to give a full image, because I guess I don't guess, I know they didn't have the money to have a whole set that looked like that.
No way. That's.
Oh my
Dear
goodness.
God. I was watching the documentary of Star Wars, and this was not mentioned, and I wonder why.
So weird, because they've tried so hard to distance themselves from this, but then they made
The new
Star
one,
Wars Christmas Special too. Yeah, the sequel, the Lego one.
actually, which I thought was very funny.
Oh yes. Oh my goodness.
It definitely
Nowhere-
was part making fun of the new trilogy and this.
Yes, but nowhere near to this original charm. I mean, look at this family.
The quality.
Yeah, this is like a Hallmark movie here.
I know.
I absolutely love how
Where are the subtitles?
like they don't care if the audience knows what they're saying or not. That's like they're like, you guys are gonna just sit through like 4 minutes of them just making noises at each other. And you are going to pretend to understand exactly what is going on, exactly what is taking place.
Have you ever watched How I Met Your Mother?
I have not, actually.
So there's this episode where because the main character loves Star Wars, but the original trilogy because they're older, and so at the end, he needed his future wife to watch it.
I can't tell. Is he trying to eat? Is he just staring and making noises? And it's like, was he trying to eat it, or is he just trying to play with it? What are those?
Yes.
Answer me, Star Wars.
But so basically, what she said was how she didn't like it, and she's like, "How do they understand that bear?" And he's like, "Oh yes, very good idea, bear. We should do that." He's like, "What?" I'm this is exactly how this first 5 minutes of this goes.
Yes. Because I mean, it starts off with a very Star Warsy feel, even if it's kind of shot weird and the visuals and whatever. But it has Han Solo and Chewbacca, in a spaceship going through space. And then here it's like a bear in a tree.
Look at that.
You gotta love that very still shot.
So much they should revive this and CGI, re-CGI things.
It's like, what's I don't. This just seems so reckless to me right there. like they make him look down and be like, oh yeah, it's like super. Oh my goodness, this animation. It's like, oh what?
But it's still better than Jar Jar Binks' animation.
They just leave that kid up. They cut away from the screen. They're like, nope, what's gonna happen to that kid? You don't get to know yet. The whole viewing experience would be so greatly enhanced if they just had subtitles, because you'd have something that cling on to plot wise. This
isn't Star Trek. There's no Klingon.
Yeah. Like all that's in the Star Trek holiday special.
Exactly, which I think they actually have. Probably a million times better than this stuff.
Oh yes. This almost just feels how this is shot. It's just like you just have a camera in these dudes' houses, and you're switching back and forth between camera feeds.
Yeah, we're just watching their security feed.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. It's to me it's just painful how long it takes Chewbacca to like arrive. I actually don't even know if he doesn't arrive to like the. Actually, I've never seen this all the way through, so I can't remember when Chewbacca arrives. If it's like part of the way through or like at the very end.
I thought, yeah, because I don't think when we watched it that one time in our house that we got through to that part.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
You know what? At least the people in these costumes will never be known for this because no one knows who they are.
Yes. I would assume their names are listed in the credits, but no one ever gets to the credits to find out. So.
Exactly, they're safe. Only the people at the beginning are, screwed.
And here it's like, oh, they're about to play that chess game because there's like the chessboard. But then this happens, and it's like, what is this? Again, there's still no speaking.
Yeah, we don't even. Are those pumpkins?
I always just assume this is like the equivalent of like the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. That's the only thing I would have an idea of. I mean. It's like, what is this?
Already been on for too long.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. He heard me.
Okay. Oh no. He made it worse.
He made it bigger.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I just
seems right out of this stream, straight out of RuPaul Drag Race.
It's so bizarre to me, and just even looking at that kid's face right now, but that this got, I'm assuming this got scripted in some level, and then filmed, and then edited together, and then approved. Like, I mean, okay, that was a terrifying couple of clips there.
You know what's worse for the actor?
Yeah.
Who's in the mini Chewbacca suit?
Yeah.
He's not watching anything.
Oh yeah. No. He's
It was
he's
added
looking
later.
At a blank table. Yeah. This is all added in post, and it's like so ridiculous because it's like what the little people there are doing is like super cool. It looks neat. It looks like there's a lot of talent. It's like cool, like acrobatic stuff. But it's like they're doing it on like a hollow table, just on these weird costumes, and it's like, who is like, yep, this is what I want Star Wars to be. Moving forward after Episode 4, this has to be Star Wars. This is the brand.
If this was like a Cirque du Soleil show. Yeah. I don't think anyone would have a problem with it.
Oh,
but since it's in Star Wars.
Yeah. Why did they think having the little Wookiee's face like that was like a good idea? Who saw the Wookiee's face like that and was like, yes, this is the face we want watching this? And now back to like 4 more minutes of like exclusively Wookiee sounds.
At least I know what they're talking about at this juncture in time. He's got to do the dishes, and he's not happy.
Yep. He's really.
You know what? I hope people are still listening and not watching, because I hope they're very confused.
Yes. Oh my goodness. This is just.
Oh dear God.
This was also the first time they had like a screen like this in Star Wars, and arguably the last time.
Yep, they're just hollows from there, right?
Yeah, it's like, I know at no point in here did anyone know that Star Wars was going to keep being so successful, but still, I mean, have a little self-respect here.
Can you imagine if this is the thing that? Oh, this is recorded off a tape. I was like, what is going on? Okay.
Yeah, because this aired live on TV.
Someone probably recorded this and was like, man, I can't wait for this. This is gonna be awesome.
Here's the man, the myth, the legend, the one and only
R2D2.
Mark Hamill. Yeah, R2D2.
Reprising his role as R2D2.
Where's Chewbacca?
The makeup he has on.
I know. It's so noticeable. It's just like, does not look like the Luke Skywalker from Episode 4.
Not now, R2. Oh, wait a minute. I don't like the looks of this. Let me get this fixed.
My God, it's so unnatural, the acting.
Oh yeah. I guarantee this was like one take. It was one take and done.
You probably didn't want to stay for any longer than this.
What's up? Chewbacca? Yeah, we'll bring him to the screen. I want to say hello to him. You don't know where he is?
Get more makeup on than most females I know.
Is that it?
It's so funny because it's like, does Luke understand Wookiee or not? There's no kind of translation thing going on here.
Way overdue.
Because even R2D2 looks off in terms of color and paint or whatever.
I don't think anyone's in there this time. I think he's just like a robot that they move with a remote.
Held up by an asteroid storm? Listen, I wouldn't worry about you.
Held up by an asteroid storm.
Right? Well, there you go. He's not going to miss this one either.
Oh, goodness.
Take a little bit longer to get there, that's all. He'll make it.
Wow.
Don't look so worried. Don't you think I want to come home to a house full of long
I like how
faces,
like
is he?
she looks like a bear and he looks like an abominable snowman.
Come on.
This is such a.
That's better. Try to
That's-
make your life
That's a painful exchange of dialogue.
have it solved.
I guess not dialogue, but.
What is it even attached to?
It's a good question. I don't know how much Mark Hamill got paid for those like 2 minutes, but it was not enough.
You know what else was added in post-production?
What?
The Wookiee screams. So you're just sitting there going the entire movie.
Yes. Okay. What's going on here? Oh, and for our viewers, they haven't figured out the format of this yet. It's just a bunch of like individual skits, divided up by a bunch of Wookiees walking around doing like meaningless chores.
What does the Empire do? Or no, is that the Empire?
Oh, an Imperial Guard. I suppose you want to see my identification?
No.
Oh, okay.
Duty. I've come to look around your shop.
Oh, good. Look around.
Okay.
Browse around. Make yourself at home. As you can see, I've got just about everything a man or Wookiee would want.
What? So
Why specifically Wookiees?
Let me show you this. I really don't.
wait. So the Wookiees just tuned into this? Is this like a chat, or is this like a show, or is this like a camera?
I think it's a camera.
Oh, here we are.
Why are the Wookiees watching this? Got it, camera.
Wonderful, isn't it?
Oh no.
And you can take it with you anywhere. And the tank
I like
is
how like you
clean.
they moved close in and you can see all the fish and then
That's
it's
all
just
right,
like
matter of fact. I'll
water.
take a drink once in a while. But I just thought I'd show you some of the stupid stuff those Wookiees purchased from me. Oh, here.
Interesting.
There's a hot little item that seems to be moving pretty rapidly these days.
Oh, they're on the planet that they're on.
Yeah.
Good to see you again.
So it was a call.
Why you calling?
It was a call that didn't ring for 2 minutes in.
I assure you, madam, it's on its way. Made especially for you by a little old woman 4 planets away.
Now, imagine if when you called someone on the phone, as soon as you dialed, it like just turned on the other person's microphone. You could hear everything they were saying for 2 minutes, and then their phone started to ring.
Understand? Do anything. By the way, I'll be by later to drop off that extra proton energy pack. You're welcome.
What should you photon energy pack for?
What's the matter?
At home.
Like this?
So they'd cook the Life Day porg.
Mm. I didn't know Dale Earnhardt was in this movie.
You haven't read the instructions, the warranty, and the guarantee. Besides shaving and hair trimming, it's guaranteed to lift stains off clothing, faces, and hands. Cleans teeth, fingers, and toenails, washes eyes, pierces ears, calculates, modulates, and syncopates life rhythms, and can repeat the entire Imperial Penal Code, all 17 volumes, in half the time of the old XP21. Just the thing to keep you squeaky clean. I use one of these all the time.
Really?
Wait, that's a knife. Why does it recite the penal code of the Empire?
Another outstanding feature of this little model, you can recharge it by simply plugging it into any ordinary laser outlet.
I'll take it.
Good, I thought you would. Now, would you like to take something for it, or give me something in trade?
I said I'll take it.
That's a load off. I thought I might embarrass you when I told you to accept it as a gift. I don't like embarrassing people. I don't like being embarrassed.
Seriously, what's a razor need to?
That's
Why? Why does it need to recite all 17 volumes of the code?
The funniest thing about this is like there's obviously no point in that. There's no point in this entire scene, but like there's no entire. It's not even worth noting because there's no point to this entire movie. There's no overall plot or goal or nothing changes. So.
The rebels located and identified.
Oh, James Earl Jones is in
every
it too.
household in the system.
At least he got a relatively normal part.
I'm very prepared for that to be Darth Vader's only appearance here.
It probably was. For his sake, I hope it was.
I don't even believe that was the actor who played Darth Vader in that suit. Because I know there's like the one actor who played Darth Vader for like all the movies, like not the voice, but like in the suit.
Oh yeah.
That was probably just some extra. Just put this suit on. I was told to like walk in a straight line.
Probably. I'd hope so.
Yeah.
For his sake.
Mm-hmm.
I saw something somewhere that was like...
I remember this scene. This is...
Oh, I think I vaguely remember it.
Yeah.
I saw something somewhere that said only the truest Star Wars fans can sit through the Star Wars holiday special. So there are no true Star Wars fans. But our goal is to be the first two.
But it's very economical too. So all those hungry mouths in your house are really going yummy yum on that tummy tum. If you just follow along with me as I prepare this popular favorite. Now, today I'm going to be using the tenderest cut of the bantha, the loin. The loin is very tasty and serves four nicely. Of course, if your family has a hearty appetite,
I would suggest
that old popular holiday favorite.
You know, I'm not sure.
Little sketch would not get away with it at this point in time.
Yeah, no.
Very tender.
Then again, I don't think anyone would want to even make anything close to the Star Wars
Fair
Holiday
point.
Special. So, and let's see. So we're planning to do this whole thing over over like this in the next 4 episodes of the podcast. Yes.
Now it's time to put
Yeah.
on chunks.
So let's see how
I think
far.
we could probably get through this last part.
Yeah.
Because I'm about done.
Yeah,
I don't know
this
how
is
much
what
more I can take.
As much as I can say, I'm actually pretty sure this might be kind of close to where we stopped watching it the first time. So
Was she eating it
pretty
as
much
she's
on
putting it
track.
in?
Yes.
Oh, isn't nice?
This is
And, Belgium is nice. And just a little whisper of shelter.
Oh no.
Oh, it's looking very nice. Guess what I forgot? A bit of the calorantrum root. Wonderful. Just adds that touch of piquancy.
this.
It's a lot more than she put in.
Yeah, and you know what? I actually changed my mind. This is exactly what I think of when I think of Star Wars. This is like the quintessential basic Star Wars for me here.
Creepy cooking shows.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Stir, stir, stir.
This is that scene. Yeah. Just stir.
Stir, whip, 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 stir. Stir, whip, whip.
I do remember this
my
from
God.
like all of my viewings. Yeah. This is what I remember when I saw it. I was like, why does this seem so familiar?
Whip, stir, whip, 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 stir. Stir, whip, stir, whip, 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 stir. Come on, faster all together now. Cooking can be fun. Stir, whip, 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 stir. Stir, whip, whip, stir. Wow! Having fun. All right? Coming along nicely now. Step 3. We also have to beat. So,
Wait, what?
Oh. There we go.
beat, stir, whip, beat, stir. That's not right. I'm sorry. Stir, whip, stir, whip, stir, beat, stir, whip, stir.
Okay. Do
I
you
don't
think?
even know what to say about this.
Do you think they meant for her hair to come under like that, or it just happened and they just like keep it in? We're done. We're not shooting this again.
Yeah, this was all one take. I guarantee this is like half a take, honestly. But
So we'll have a little taste and see how it's coming along.
you know, honestly, I'm hoping that like this is on the next episode of like The Mandalorian.
Mando cooks for baby for Grogu.
Yeah. Grogu's like, I'm hungry and I want some new food. I want something for Life Day, and then Mando comes and pulls up that
I need some
cooking video
bantha
there. Yeah. Here we go. Back to there we go. Han and Chewie. Chewie looks so different.
budget.
Mm-hmm. I think all of the budget was used on these space battle scenes, which honestly is the place to use the budget, but still.
Out of the frying pan into the fire, huh, pal? How should I know we'd come out of hyperspace in the middle of an Imperial convoy? At least against these fighters, we got more of a chance. However slim. Say that again. This is one life day we won't soon forget. Wait.
This is one Life Day I'll never forget.
Except
I'm gonna have to run back and operate the Afghan
Except
manual.
for what?
No matter how badly I want to.
Life day's gonna be easy.
Okay, we can stop it there. Yeah.
all right, yeah, that's
Perfect.
That's about all.
Perfect. Yeah.
About all I can take from that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The good thing about YouTube, no. Good thing about YouTube is that it will hold your place.
Oh yes. And then we can pick up on that.
Pick up on next week.
Next week. For more Life Day
Oh,
shenanigans.
Dear God.
That was
Stir whip, stir whip, stir whip.
whip stir. Oh my god. That's gonna be my ringtone now. I have the most festive holiday ringtone out of all of them. It'll be that.
So it's gonna what I'm gonna remember next time I make food, which is very rarely. When I make my peanut butter and jelly sandwich tomorrow for lunch, stir, whip, stir, whip, stir, whip.
Exactly.
Pounds?
Exactly. Life Day sandwich.
Dear God.
It's.
Does it get worse from there?
Oh yeah, I think after that they just ran out of. They like ran out of money completely. So we will see. We still have yet to see Princess Leia. So I wonder what kind of role she'll have.
I don't think the one time we watched it, I don't think I ever saw her.
Yeah. No, I don't think we got that. It'll probably be like they'll call her like they called Luke Skywalker, and she'll be like talking to C-3PO or something like that. I don't remember. I don't know if I ever even got to that part. I haven't seen it. Like I watched a good portion of it, but I never got all the way to the end. I never got to the part with Boba Fett. So I am excited to see that.
Again, no one is a true Star Wars fan until they can sit through that.
Yep.
And we might be the first.
Yes. Yeah, we will be the first people.
I guess it's the person who uploaded that.
To watch the Star Wars Christmas special. Nope, first people ever. That was actually me who uploaded that.
The fact that they have it, right? You have to put yourself in this person's shoes. Imagine how excited they were when that came out. Oh man, I can't wait! Star Wars holiday special. It's gonna be awesome. All my favorites are in it. Oh man, it's gonna be great. And then they recorded. They watched it like, oh my God, this is awful. And now I own it.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, but like to actually own that on like a physical medium from like the day it came out, like because they aired it once and they never aired it again. They never released it on any kind of medium. You had to have like recorded it that day. Mm-hmm. So I am thankful for that person to for the fact that they recorded it, because now we get to suffer for 5 podcast episodes in the name of content.
Exactly. That's all that matters, really. So, in the name of content. So, I think that's a good place to cut it off. It's been about an hour, 15 minutes. Mm-hmm. And if you're still with us, we're sorry. You got 4 more to go.
Yeah.
Maybe even less. We might not even make it through.
Yeah, frankly, we're just talking to no one right now because they've like stopped the podcast. They like unsubscribed. They like deleted their Spotify app.
Stopped using Sounder because they realized that it is like not worth it anymore.
Oh yeah.
Just be listening to this show.
Mm-hmm.
But so next time we meet, we'll talk briefly about The Mandalorian, since there will only be 1 episode. And we're gonna forego the news, and we're gonna get this thing over with.
Sure. Yeah.
Next time, because not that there'll be much news, because it'll be next week. So.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. There was the 1 week where like, nothing has happened, boring podcast episode, and then like so much news got released about like Doctor Strange and Spider-Man and WandaVision. So you never know. We could get an announcement from Disney where they're like, oh, we're releasing Black Widow now. Here, go watch it.
In which case we'll review it, obviously. No, actually, you know what? We would wait a while because you can't like there's some like leeway, we
will give our initial reactions of good or bad, and then we will wait half an hour to spoil the entire plot.
And then we'll be one week closer to WandaVision.
Honestly, what the MCU should have done, what Marvel should have done to not have 2020 been the first year without any new Marvel content, is just done the MCU holiday special, where it's just the exact same thing, where it's just individual shots of like one actor or whatever, super low quality, not saying anything that doesn't build up.
On Zoom.
Yeah.
With
just
shitty
Zoom.
Microphones.
Yeah.
And shitty camera quality.
All of the Avengers and Guardians of the Galaxy or whatever, just like on a Zoom call. That's the
movie.
Yeah, that's it. There's no plot. There's just all kind of like it's
together.
It's that like it's like the end credits scene from the first Avengers film where they're just all just like eating at like the restaurant, which I absolutely love, but it's an hour and a half of just them eating on a Zoom call.
Talking occasionally.
Yep, all in slightly worse versions of of their costumes, and like far too much you makeup and visual effects, but
far too much makeup.
But cheap visual effects, and then just halfway through, they're all watching the cooking guide for like stir, stir, stir. And that's the entire thing. Honestly, this is why Disney needs to hire us. They missed out on a gold mine here.
When at the very end, MODOK hacks it and ends it. He's like, and then like at the end he comes on screen and is just like, I have made it so that you can no longer watch it, and then just like some random audience person, thank God.
Yeah. It's
what?
Just, the entire world just stands up and is
applauds him.
Yeah, it's like, you are the hero now. You are the only Avenger left.
There we go.
We don't want all of the other ones. We have revoked Tony Stark's Avenger status after his passing, just because of what all of his other friends did.
There we go. That's the movie. There you go. Release. I mean, you could make that in an hour. Truly, it would not take you a long time.
Yeah, you could probably make that hour and a half long movie in like half an hour.
Yeah, you just have to like loop it through.
Yeah. Exactly.
We have the same conversation. Didn't they have this conversation earlier in the movie? I don't know.
Yeah,
the cooking show's on.
Yeah, it'll just repeat, and like no one will notice because no one will be watching it.
No, air it on ABC once, never for it to be found again.
Yep, exactly. Well, I think that wraps things up quite nicely there.
Yep, I agree.
Happy holidays, happy Life Day.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Yeah. Hey.
Or Toyotathon, whatever you call it.
Toyotathon. Thank you very much.
We'll see you guys next week, and we're gonna actually have to see you because we're gonna be watching it.
Mm-hmm.
Whether or not after this happens, we keep doing weekly is up in the air. I'm gonna assume we might go back to every 2 weeks. We'll see how these do. Really.
Yeah, we will need time probably to recover after having seen the Star Wars Holiday Special in its entirety, because, like, again, it is the Ark of the Covenant, man. Even if you're opening it up super slowly and kind of closing it back down, it is still going to melt all of your skin. So until next time.
If you like this video or podcast, don't forget to like it. Don't forget to subscribe.
Video. Yeah, don't forget to do
especially to him over there in that box.
Over here in this box.
Go to subscribe to his channel, not Brennan. Subscribe here, whatever you're on, obviously. If you're on YouTube, subscribe to WolfGator. If you're not on YouTube, well, I bet you've been confused the last half hour.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah. If you're still listening and haven't been on YouTube. But yeah.
It's been a ride. So we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, my YouTube channel is not Brennan. His YouTube channel is also not Brennan, but not called Not Brennan. He's just not Brennan.
Exactly. WolfGator.
Simple. Yes.
Good night. Good morning.
Peace.
Good afternoon. See you guys.